My sister-in-law Karen firmly believed that air conditioning was the root of all evil, the #1 enemy of human health. Even when it hit 104°F outside, she refused to turn it on. Worse, she forbade the rest of us from using it too. I couldn't take the sweltering heat anymore. It felt like living inside a sauna. I snuck over and turned on the AC, but my little nephew Joey had already been exposed to the extreme heat for too long. He collapsed from heatstroke and was rushed to the ER. Karen screamed at me, claiming that Joey got sick because I turned on the air conditioning. She locked me in a room. No food, no exit, no AC, no fan. I died from the heat. My corpse began to rot in that inferno, and the stench eventually alerted someone. When I opened my eyes again, I was back to the day Joey first fainted from the heat. "Auntie, I'm so hot," Joey mumbled weakly to Karen, his lips pale, skin flushed, sweat soaking through his sticky clothes. "No," Karen said firmly. "You kids these days get sick because of air conditioners and fans. Look at your Aunt Emily, her whole body's a mess, all from cold air blowing on her. You're sweating. That means your body is detoxing. That's a good thing. Now be a good boy. Drink this hot water and sweat it out. Once the toxins are gone, you'll feel better." Karen glared at me while stuffing a steaming mug into Joey's trembling hands. I watched in silence, as he was forced to chug the scalding water, tears brimming in his eyes. Last time I couldn't stand it. I fought with Karen, yanked the remote from her hands and turned on the AC. But it was already too late. Joey had overheated for too long. He collapsed before the cool air could help. I called 911 and rushed him to the hospital, paid all the bills, stayed by his bedside. The doctor told me I saved his life. Another hour, and he might have died. I thought my brother Jason and Karen would be grateful. Instead, they exploded. "See, I told you the AC would ruin his body. Now look what you've done. You didn't just wreck your own health, now you've destroyed my son too. Damn you. How could my Joey have such a toxic aunt? You want to kill him? What the hell is wrong with you?" Karen ranted on, "You're not married, you have no kids, and all your money's gonna go to Joey one day anyway. And you wasted it on a hospital trip? You idiot. Hot water would have fixed everything." They demanded I reimburse the hospital expenses, double. I looked to my brother for help. He said nothing, just stood beside Karen, glaring at me. Joey eventually recovered, but blamed everything on me. "You're a disgusting woman. I didn't need the AC. You wasted my money." This time, I stayed out of it. Joey, trembling, could barely stand after Karen made him drink the boiling water. His speech slurred. "Mommy, I feel dizzy." Karen poured herself a cup of tea and turned on the electric fan, just for herself. "You," she barked at me, "go buy groceries. I want braised pork belly tonight. And get me a snow cone while you're at it. Pick up some cucumbers, I want a cold salad. When you're done cooking, message me, then go deliver dinner to your brother at work." She waved her fan and smiled. "But don't you dare buy anything cold for yourself. You weak young people get stomachaches from it. I'm strong, I can handle it." I grabbed my purse and stormed out. Not to buy her food. I wasn't their maid. Even driving Joey to and from preschool was always my job. Last time I bought into their guilt trips. "Married daughters are outsiders," they'd say. "You live here? Then earn your place." Not anymore. I walked straight to my small rental apartment, just 10 minutes from work and right by Joey's preschool. Every day I cooked there, packed up meals for Karen, Jason, and Mom, and delivered them to their place. But now this little cool, quiet place was mine and mine alone. I turned on the AC, curled up with a tub of ice cream, and queued up a reality show. Then my phone rang. It was Mom. She usually avoided our oven-hot home by playing mahjong at the senior center. It was always air-conditioned there. She never called unless something went wrong. I picked up, voice weak and weary. "Mom, I got heatstroke on the way back from the grocery store. I'm in the hospital." Silence. Then came the screeching. "We're all saving money by not using AC. And you just go hand it to the damn hospital? You ungrateful brat. Can't you think of your mother for once?" I let her finish. Cold and unmoved. "What do you want, Mom?" "Oh right," she snapped. "You distracted me." Joey passed out again. "Get over here and drive him to the ER." Karen refuses to go, and I'm worried sick. His whole body's burning hot. If anything happens to my baby boy, I'll never forgive you. I pictured her red-faced, yelling into the phone. Just like last time. Whenever Karen and Mom fought, they used me as the scapegoat. In the end, Karen hated me so much, she laughed when I died. I didn't even mention that I was supposedly hospitalized too. Mom didn't care. In her eyes, only Jason, Karen, and Joey were family. I silently hung up, popped in my earbuds, and turned up the TV. The AC was set to 78 Fahrenheit. I spooned more ice cream into my mouth. Only an idiot would go play servant in this heat. Back home, Joey lay passed out on the couch, red as a lobster. Karen draped a thick comforter over him and snapped at Mom, "You're so dramatic. My son sweated out all the bad stuff already. That's healthy." You called me back from the store and wasted my AC time." She shut her mouth just in time, glancing guiltily at Mom. Karen had actually been lounging in the neighbor's place all afternoon, chatting while soaking up their air conditioning. Eventually, after more shouting, they did take Joey to the hospital. How do I know all this? Because Jason called me again. "Send me $5,000, he barked. "Joey's ER bill." I nearly laughed out loud. Last time they said I wasted their money. Now, even though I stayed out of it, they still wanted me to pay? With interest? No shame. I faked a cough and whimpered, "I'd love to help, but I'm broke." Remember how Mom barged into my office screaming about picking up Joey after work? My boss fired me. I handed Mom all my savings every month. "I don't even have rent for this month." I paused, then added pitifully, "Could you lend me $500? Jason hung up immediately. Of course. They expected everything from me. But the moment I needed them? Poof. Gone. After Jason hung up, I turned off my phone and spent the rest of the day peacefully curled up in my little apartment. Unlike my brother and his wife, I actually had air conditioning and dignity. As for them? Not so lucky. Back at their house, Jason grumbled as he paced with his phone. "That money-sucking bitch," he spat. "Lost her job and now she wants to borrow money from me?" Good thing I hung up fast. She was probably setting me up for a lawsuit. Karen giggled beside him, hand over her mouth. "You're so smart, babe." Then she frowned. "But what about Joey's hospital bill? That little brat didn't even pay a dime?" Jason shrugged. "Ask your mother-in-law. She'll be dead soon anyway. Her money's going to us. Might as well use it now." "Exactly," Karen said. She insisted we take Joey to the hospital. Her choice, her bill. Later, the three of them stood at the hospital front desk. "Did you pay yet?" asked the nurse. Jason looked at Karen. Karen looked at Mom. Finally, Jason stepped forward, all sincerity. "Mom, you know I've been using my paycheck to cover the mortgage. Emily lost her job because of you. Remember the office incident? She's broke, can't even pay rent. You're the only one who still has money. Can you pay Joey's bill?" Mom's face turned purple. "You ungrateful piece of shit. That's my retirement savings. I worked my whole life for that money. And by the way, if I hadn't rushed Joey to the hospital, he'd be dead by now." Karen snapped. "You forced us to come here, remember? None of this would have happened if you'd stayed out of it. You know nothing about medicine and just want to throw our money at doctors." When the pharmacist handed Jason the prescription list, Karen snatched it, scanned the ingredients and crumpled it up. "What the hell are you doing?" Mom shrieked. "Those are Joey's meds." Karen rolled her eyes. "That list is full of scam drugs. We're not paying for that garbage. I'll make Joey a bitter herbal soup at home. Same effect." Truth be told, she was freaking out about spending money. And the hospital's cool AC was making her nervous. What if Joey got too cold? So they walked home. In 104-degree heat. All three of them were soaked in sweat before they even reached the front door. They collapsed on the floor like beached whales. Joey stirred. "I'm hungry." That's when it hit them. I never brought them food. No one wanted to go back out in the heat. Delivery was too expensive. My phone was still off. So Karen begrudgingly dragged herself to the supermarket. What she didn't expect. The supermarket was a blissful 70-degree Fahrenheit, clean and quiet. Not like the chaotic, stinky hospital. She stepped in and instantly felt her entire body sigh in relief. Her skin relaxed. Her pores opened like tiny mouths drinking the cool air. That was the moment Karen fell in love with grocery shopping. Back in my apartment, I slept in until noon, then headed back to their house, not to cook, but to retrieve my belongings and move my residency papers out of their household registration. Leaving my name tied to that family was a liability. As soon as I opened the door, I gagged. Joey was sitting on the couch, holding a cup of thick green sludge. The place smelled like a compost bin in the sun. "What the hell is that?" I asked. Joey didn't answer. Karen waltzed in, waving an empty cloth bag. "It's a detox drink I made. Bitter melon and golden seal. You wouldn't understand. It's only for my sweet baby boy. It'll make him strong and tall." She glared at me, eyes gleaming. "You weren't there when Joey was hospitalized yesterday. Even if you showed up now with $40,000 and a handwritten apology, I still wouldn't forgive you. But I wasn't here to give them money." I put on the most pitiful expression I could muster. Nose sniffling, eyes watering. "Karen, please. You and Jason have to help me." Her smile dropped. "What?" I grabbed her arm dramatically. After Mom ruined my job, I was desperate. I took out a personal loan thinking I'd find work quickly, but I couldn't. The collectors came last night and smashed up my apartment. They said if I don't pay by today, they'll sell me into human trafficking. Karen tried to shake me off, but I clung tighter. I wailed. "If I default, the bank will come after your house next. Jason's job might even be affected." Karen's face darkened like a storm cloud. "All I need is $15,000. I sobbed. "Just 15 grand. Please, save me." Karen screamed and tried to kick me in the stomach. I dodged and collapsed on the floor crying harder. "I'm your family. Please don't let them take me." It was Oscar-worthy. Karen finally caved and went to get the household registration booklet. I acted reluctant as she dragged me to the office to get my name removed. By the time Mom and Jason arrived, the paperwork was done. I looked at them solemnly. "I never imagined you'd treat me like this." "Fine. I'll take care of my debts myself. From this day forward, we're strangers." Neither of them said a word. Just stared at me like I was filth. But this time, I didn't care. Everything I left behind in that house? Consider it a parting gift. That night, I turned my AC to full blast and treated myself to sushi and sorbet. As for them, Jason and Karen came home, still muttering about how I'd ruined the family. But when they opened the door, whoosh! Cold air blasted them in the face. They rushed inside. There was Joey, buck naked, sprawled on the couch, beaming as the air conditioner hummed above him. He jumped up, startled. Karen was faster. She slapped him across the face. "You evil little brat. Didn't I tell you never to turn that thing on? You saw what happened to your Aunt Emily. That's what air conditioning does to people. You want to die of AC disease. You want the toxins to stay trapped in your body? You'll get sick. You'll get dumb. Mommy should bite you just to let the rage out." Joey burst into tears. "But Mommy, I'm so hot. I feel so dizzy." "That's AC disease," she shouted, yanking off the remote, shutting down the unit, dressing him, flinging open the windows. All the cold air vanished. Sweat beaded on their skin like someone had splashed them with boiling water. Jason suddenly remembered some work emergency and ran off. Mom left to go play mahjong with the ladies. Karen was left alone. She tucked Joey in, bundled him in blankets, and forced another cup of bitter melon sludge down his throat. Then she headed out again, probably to squat in the neighbor's air conditioning. Left alone, Joey stumbled to the fridge and cracked it open. Cool air spilled out. He shoved a handful of ice cubes into his mouth. Instant relief. The dizziness faded. His nausea disappeared. He felt alive. That day, Joey discovered a new religion. Cold. From that day on, Joey became a secret convert to the Church of Cold. Every time Karen stepped out, he waited until the coast was clear, then darted to the fridge. Ice cubes, cold drinks, sometimes just crouching in front of the open door and letting the chill wrap around him. It was the only peace he knew. But kids are kids. Once they taste sweetness, they never stop. And Joey went overboard. His little stomach, already weak, couldn't handle the daily blizzard diet. Soon he developed chronic stomach pains and inflammation. After every meal, he doubled over with cramps. Karen, of course, didn't blame the ice. First, she suspected her own cooking. But no one else in the house was sick. Then she began to worry. She grit her teeth, and finally dragged Joey to the hospital, just to be sure. Before stepping inside, she wrapped him in extra layers. Gotta protect him from the frigid AC. The doctor examined Joey, took one look at his chart, and turned on her. "Are you people serious?" The doctor snapped. "Do you know how fragile a child's stomach is? Especially in this kind of weather? You let him eat what?" Karen's eyes went wide. "Excuse me? I never let him eat cold things. Not a single bite." "Then how the hell did he end up like this? His gut's inflamed. His digestive system is wrecked." Karen stormed out, dragging Joey behind her. "Quacks. All of you!" she shouted. "I knew I shouldn't have brought him here. He's fine, he didn't eat anything cold. Lying money-sucking bastards." But the doubt gnawed at her. That night, she yanked open the fridge door. And found it. A shallow tray of water, not yet frozen. Recently placed. Her face darkened. She beat Joey black and blue. He sobbed and swore he'd never do it again. From that point forward, Karen ran the house like a prison warden. She hid the fan in the back of the closet. Took the AC remote with her whenever she left. Even pulled the plug on the fridge before going out. To cure his stomach, she force-fed him boiling water all day long and doubled the doses of her bitter melon sludge. She didn't even let him fan himself with his hand. After just a few days, Joey began to break. He could barely stand. His limbs trembled. He threw up everything he drank. His head pounded. He whispered for help. And somehow, the first person he thought of was me. I was stunned when I got the call. Joey's voice was faint and raspy. "Aunt Emily, can you come pick me up and take me to preschool? I don't want to be home anymore. If you don't come, I'll tell Grandma to never give you money again." For a split second, I felt sorry for him. Then I remembered who he was raised by. I went cold. "I'm not your aunt anymore," I said flatly. "Your mom and dad kicked me out, remember? I'm not part of your family. I don't owe you a thing." Before he could respond, I hung up. I'd finally landed a new job. I had no intention of reattaching myself to that festering nightmare of a family. Joey, left with no one else, turned to his parents. "I want to go to preschool," he begged. But it was summer. The heat was unbearable. No one wanted to go outside, let alone walk a child anywhere. "Your cheeks are red already," Karen said. "You're not going anywhere." So Joey changed tactics. He asked to go shopping with Karen. He knew she always went to the big supermarket, the one with the heavenly AC. But Karen wasn't stupid. Whenever he begged to come along, she changed destinations, heading to tiny shops with no cooling, only sticky shelves and wilting vegetables. "You've had enough wind for a lifetime," she muttered. "Look what those damn air conditioners did to you." Eventually, Joey stopped asking. And then, one day, as Karen left for her beloved shopping trip, Joey curled up on the couch and stayed still. He twitched a few times. Then he stopped moving altogether. When Karen came back and saw him lying there, still and silent, she felt something strange swell in her chest. Pride. She smiled. Her son had finally learned to behave. No whining, no fidgeting, just quiet, obedient rest. "That's my boy," she whispered. "This is what happens when you sweat out all the bad stuff." She strolled into the kitchen, humming, and started cooking dinner. When Jason and Mom came home, both of them fanned themselves frantically, drenched in sweat. Karen set the table. "Joey, come eat." No answer. She walked over to the couch. He was still in the exact same position. "Joey?" she asked, her voice tightening. She shook him. Hard. "Joey baby, wake up. Mommy's here. Time to eat, sweetie." Still nothing. Jason and Mom rushed over. Mom touched Joey's arm and recoiled. "He's burning up," she cried. "Like, boiling. Call 911, he's got a fever." But Jason wiped sweat from his brow and said, "I'm beat. Just got home. Can someone else take him?" "Yeah," Mom muttered. "I've got mahjong tonight. Karen, you go." So Karen carried her son, alone, to the hospital. The doctor took one look and ordered immediate emergency care. Karen refused to let go. No way, he's just got a fever. We'll give him an 4 and go home. You're not robbing me again. The doctor nearly screamed. This is not a regular fever. Your son has heatstroke, it's serious. If you don't let us help him now, he could die. Karen's face slowly morphed into a smug smirk. Oh, I get it, she said. Another made-up disease to squeeze money out of hard-working moms. Heatstroke? Please, if that were real, how come I've never heard of it? I grew up with nothing but a paper fan, and I turned out just fine. Before the doctor could reply, Karen grabbed Joey and stormed out. At home, she proudly told Jason and Mom how she exposed the scam. It's just a fever, she said. I know how to fix that. She bundled Joey in blankets, poured a mug of hot water down his throat, and forced another bitter melon sludge into him. Perfect remedy, she whispered. Then she passed out beside him, drenched in sweat but smiling. Karen awoke in the middle of the night, disoriented. The room was a furnace. She reached out instinctively and placed her hand on Joey's forehead. Cold. Ice cold. She smiled. Finally, his fever had broken. Her miracle routine had worked. Hot water, bitter melon, sweat, and motherly love. She drifted back to sleep, content. But when morning came, her hand touched something strange. Hard. Still. Damp. Joey's small body was speckled with faint gray blotches, his skin already succumbing to the heat and decay. Karen froze. Her breath caught in her chest. No, 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 no. My baby, my sweet boy, what happened? She sat paralyzed on the edge of the bed, cradling him, her eyes wide, her face pale. And then, her expression changed. Hatred flared in her eyes. Of course. It's their fault, she whispered, her voice venomous. Jason and that old hag. If they'd gone with me to the hospital, if they had backed me up against that quack doctor, I wouldn't have made this mistake. They killed him, not me. She laid Joey's lifeless body down and marched to the kitchen. She grabbed a knife and walked into the master bedroom. Jason and their mother were still asleep when Karen stabbed them, again, and again, and again. Their eyes snapped open in horror, confusion etched into their faces even in their final moments. They didn't understand, not then. Their good wife, their perfect daughter-in-law, she was butchering them with pure, unhinged rage. When it was over, Karen returned to her room, drenched in blood, and climbed into bed. She wrapped her arms around Joey's tiny rotting frame. Don't worry, sweetheart, she murmured, her voice eerily tender. Mommy made them pay. Mommy took care of everything. I had moved on with my life by then. I had a new job, a small apartment, my own savings. I wasn't looking to get married. I was just living. Peacefully. Freely. Finally. Until the news broke. A woman found living with 3 corpses, husband, mother-in-law and child, over 4 days, the headline read. I clicked. Karen had never called the police, never sought help, never cremated the bodies. She simply left Jason and Mom exactly where they'd fallen. As for Joey, she held him every night, fed him spoonfuls of bitter melon sludge every morning, whispered sweet nothings to him like he was still breathing. It was summer. The stench grew unbearable. Neighbors finally noticed the rancid smell and called the police. When they broke down the door, they found her sitting there, still cuddling the corpse of her son, humming a lullaby. The diagnosis was immediate: severe psychosis. She was institutionalized on the spot. As the only surviving family member, I was contacted to sign the cremation paperwork. To my surprise, I inherited all their assets. Turns out, each of them had secretly stashed away a good chunk of savings. Altogether, about $150,000. I wasted no time. I sold the house, burned the past, and relocated to a small seaside city. A new life. My life. The end.